sometimes who I am and how I hold space is enough. My ways of listening, my ways of talking are my own. They can always change because I change and I grow and I expand. I haven't worn this in a while. Okay, hello. It's been for me at least, it's been a really long time since I've actually sat in front of my laptop to talk to myself. And I thought yesterday evening, it feels like I need to. It feels like I haven't had one of my dear diaries, even though on YouTube they come up whenever. Every week there's something that comes up. But I'm recording these whenever I fiddle with my earrings, whenever I feel that there's something in me that needs to come up, to come out, to be spoken about. So right now I am sitting on my floor because I can't find a spot in this room that I feel extremely comfortable sitting, or I don't know. I get in my head a little bit about the background. There's a door, there's my door, there's a painting. And by the way, I say my door and a painting, they're just stuff that's in this house that I'm currently living in. That it's not my stuff, that it's not my decor, and I get in my head about it too, that oh my god, people are gonna think something about me because I keep moving from one place to the other. And of course I catch myself in that loop of why am I even thinking this? Why am I even so worried about what my background looks like, how I'm talking, what my earrings look like, for that matter, the fact that my fringe is not on my face. Today I decided to put it up. Kind of like it, kind of digging this. Anyway, okay, the idea that I had last night when I was wanting to go to sleep was to talk about comparison, because it's something that is, I would say, a recurring pattern for me, to compare myself, my progress, my ways, my everything to other people. And of course, I've come across so many things recently, that talk about this, talk about you don't know where other people are in their lives. You don't know what they have worked through to be at that stage. Whether it's what I would call higher or lower than me, because of course the comparison happens to me. I have these attributes or don't have them. This person talks so well, I have to find my words. There's such a wide vocabulary and I struggle to find words. Again, same thing. I remember watching this clip that my beautiful friend Em had done about breathwork, and hearing her talk about breathwork, and straight up I compared myself to her, and how well she's talking about it and how much she knows about it, and thinking to myself, she's actually got knowledge behind it. She actually knows what she's talking about. She has libraries of information that are at the tip of her finger, of her tongue, of her brain, whenever she needs to access it. And she speaks so freely and so easily about it. And of course I thought, do I do that? Am I able to do that? Do I have so much information about breathwork in particular, because breathwork is partly what I do? And I thought, no. And then I thought, does that matter? I thought, does it matter? And if it does, can I do something about it? Can I change something about it? Can I learn more? Are there places where I feel like I need to learn more? And all in all, after thinking that she's way better than me, and she knows so much more than I do, and she is able to communicate it, to externalize it in such a beautiful way, to present it to everybody in a fashion that I don't have, I thought, what the fuck am I doing to myself? She is her, and she's worked so hard to be where she is. She's learned so much to gather all this information, to be able to hold space for people, to be able to, God, to know herself so well. And then there's me that lately considers that I haven't done any progress whatsoever in my life, especially in the past year. The past, 7 months now? It feels like I've been in this limbo of not even limbo, like just the dark night, just straight in there and barely ever having a bit of breath coming up to the surface, kind of a thing. So in this whole comparison thing, I'm thinking to myself, I've got my own way. Sometimes maybe I don't even need to know that much information. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes who I am and how I hold space is enough. My ways of listening, my ways of talking are my own. They can always change because I change and I grow and I expand. But that doesn't mean that I am any better or any less than anybody else. So I have changed my sitting arrangements. I have realized that there's a pillow in one of the chairs in this room that I can use. Oh, okay, I was talking about comparison and all that part. And the things that have been going on internally for me lately. And of course, going back to this relationship that I thought was done. And I've noticed the more I open my heart, the more stuff comes up that I thought I didn't have a thing to do with. In that, comparison comes in to other women. I compare myself to other women so much. And it's something that I am somehow trying to figure out the root of, but not necessarily that as much as how do I change that? How do I change that story? Why do I think why do I feel threatened? Because that's what it feels like. I feel threatened by other women. I feel very embarrassed to even say this out loud right now. Like, I just had that, why am I doing this? Why am I saying this out loud? Why am I admitting to anybody that's going to watch this that I feel threatened by other women? I totally believe that I'm not the only one. I totally believe that all of us throughout our lives, at one point or another, do this. We compare. It's so ingrained in us. It's so culturally put at any step of the way. Everywhere you look and everywhere you go, there's somebody's saying something. There's comparison happening left, right, and center. So I feel embarrassed to talk about the fact that I feel threatened by other women. And not that, oh my God, they would do something to me, but this thing of they look better than me, they're younger, or more wise, or better looking, or I don't know, any other reasons, any other things that I do in my head that my little self does. My little wounded self likes to go through all these tortures. And then, of course, today I listened to Bashar and this beautiful thing that he was saying about addictions. And I seriously thought the way he described it was absolutely perfect. How he was talking about shifts in timelines, right? And it's not that something out there happens. Not the external doesn't happen. You happen. You change. You're the one that takes the leap into another direction. So there's always the old timeline is still there. You're another one because you've switched your frequency. So in that he was talking about addictions and how people, let's say, that are addicted to certain things decide one day, that's it, I've had enough. And I am going to talk about my coffee thing, because I remember I made a little clip about it a while ago when I stopped drinking coffee. And that was the beginning of July. Now it's the 9th of August. So, yeah, it is. So it's been over a month now since I've had any coffee. And I don't have that thing of, oh my God, I want it so much. And I crave it. Oh my God, my ear is ringing. There's parts of me that are like, oh, I can just have a coffee, you know. Or sometimes I'm like, a coffee would be nice. But it's not like, oh my God, I want it so badly. And in the way that Bashar was describing people, having habits and stopping the addiction is you just decide one day, that's it, I'm done. But the way he said it was, because you have, when you make that decision, you literally shift into another reality, into another parallel reality that already exists there. And in that parallel reality, you weren't an addict. In my case, in this reality that I'm on now, on this parallel shift that I have taken for myself, I have never drank coffee in my life. That's why it's so easy. And it made so much sense. It made so much sense. Like, even with people that have Russell Brand. Russell fucking Brand. I don't follow this dude. I don't listen to him talking that much. But the one thing that stuck with me was the fact that he went cold turkey with all of his addictions. And I understand it. He literally decided, that's it. One day I've had enough and I'm not going to do this anymore. And when he decided that, he literally shifted realities. He shifted into another reality where he never had that. He never had addictions. So it's easy to just continue with that one. Now, where does this all tie into the comparison thing? Because that's an addiction too. For me, it's an addiction of a feeling. I feel a certain way. Let's say I feel threatened by other women. I feel that if, let's say in the relationship that I'm in, my person is looking at another woman that's younger, has a perkier ass, more beautiful face, I don't know, blonde, blue-eyed, whatever, different than me in any kind of way. I have this thing that, oh, maybe he's gonna want that woman. So in that, for me, is the pattern of not being enough, not being good enough. And it is such a work in progress because if I decide, as I said, I make a decision so clear and so big that I'm shifting realities. If I decide right now, I don't have this thing of being less than or better than or not enough, basically. It all gets down to I am not being enough in any kind of area or aspect. So if I decide that I don't want to have that in my life anymore, I can just shift realities and change it into I am always enough. And most importantly, not making it about him. Not thinking of, oh, he sees this other woman and I have these feelings. It's about me. Can I just fucking love myself? Can I love myself with these earrings, this hair, this color eyes, this body shape, this knowledge that I have, this stuff that I be, whoever I'm being right now? Can I just be okay with who I am right now? And the answer to that right now is yes. I woke up today and, of course, my little routine in the morning, meditation and breath work. I've noticed breath work is not as consistent. It's there. Yet today, I've done my meditation first and I've done the breath work after, which normally would be the other way around. I don't know, it just works better for me. So today I've meditated first with the intention of self-love. Not even, because I remember I didn't call it self-love, it was loving myself. Even though it's probably the same thing, but anyway, it just sounds better to me. Of just loving myself fully. And I felt that in my heart. I felt my heart was opening and I felt it pouring out through me, and I could see this sort of globe that was surrounding me. It started off inside of me and then it kept expanding because I wanted to expand that. I had the intention of being big too, because I'm keeping myself small in various areas of my life, and I thought, okay, if it's a me thing, then I can be big. I can just be big. I don't have to be small. So I was working with that in meditation, and then in the breath work, same thing. Can I expand this energy, this love? And then when I felt that I wanted to send it out, I thought, how about if I just give it back to myself? How about if I just pour all of that love into me, into loving me, into where are you, little girl, Ioana, my little self, that feels that she's not good enough, that feels that she's not worthy of love, or anything else that you can imagine under the sun, that feels threatened by other women, can I just give that love to her instead of making it about somebody else external of me? Oh, it's your fault that you're interested in other women, or it's your fault that you're more knowledgeable, or whatever, whatever the story might be. So that's it with that. Turning my love inward. Turning love inward. And I know, for me especially lately, it has been a journey of focusing on myself. I don't feel like I've been in a place of service yet. As soon as I said that, that's the way that I'm being of service. I cannot be of service to anybody else if I'm not of service to myself. And I'm just having a massive one of them moments of, what did I just say? Wow. Because I totally cannot. I cannot serve anybody if I don't serve myself. If I don't cultivate my connection with my higher self, with the divine, with the universe, God, all of that. If I don't have a strong connection within myself, I cannot have that externally. And I know sometimes that comes up by just doing something, by just giving. All in all, this is it. This is my little insight of the day and where I'm at with everything. So I guess as a sort of a recap, I don't remember much of what I shared in the other clips about my personal life. I remember one of them that came out recently was about me having to move. Wow, ever since then I moved. I moved so many places. Not that many too, but I moved internally in so many places. I feel like so many things have changed inside of me. And so many things have changed. And like Bashar would say, nothing has changed. Because that's what he said. You're not going to like what I'm going to tell you now, but nothing has changed. You changed. You changed. I changed. I changed in all of this. And I'm forever going to change. And I'm forever going to grow. Yeah, I keep looking over here. I've got the current book that I'm reading right now. It's called You're Not Listening. There it is. And I have noticed I'm not even halfway through it, but it's already planted that little seed inside of me of, how do I listen? Do I listen or do I talk more? Do I listen to respond? Do I listen to learn something new? Do I listen to bite back at the person that I'm listening to? How do I listen? So yeah, if anybody wants to read it, it's called You're Not Listening by Kate Murphy. That's it. I think I'm done for today. Thank you all for watching. And yeah, I said I was going to do that thing of probably my last clip. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment on this because it supports my channel. Yet at the same time, I feel like even though there's a part of me that would want this to grow to the extent of, I was going to say, making money out of it, which it totally is the way of putting it, but I also don't want it to take over my life and my experience. I don't want that to become the main focus of why I'm doing this, because I want to do this just because I want to do it and because it's fun and because it makes me feel a certain way. I just feel great at doing it, so it's fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, I said I was done a while ago and I keep talking. I am really done now. Goodbye.